Well, we turn now to this. A Detroit school board voted to change the name of Benjamin Carson High School of Science and Medicine, despite a student poll to keep the name as it is. Now, Dr. Ben Carson was born into poverty in Detroit and raised by a single mom. He attended Detroit Public Schools before he attended Yale, University of Michigan School of Medicine, and Johns Hopkins University. But with all of his success, the school board said this: the names of the individuals we honor on our school buildings stand as a good barometer for the sort of people we want our young people to emulate. Now, changing the name of the school kind of makes it clear that they don't want young people to emulate the success of Dr. Ben Carson.
It's crazy. And joining us now for his thoughts, neurosurgeon, former HUD Secretary founder and chairman of the American Cornerstone Institute, and author, Created Equal: The Painful Past, Confusing Present, and Hopeful Future of Race in America. That seems like a lot of accolades.
I was going to say, that was the longest introduction in history, I think. And, you know, Ben Carson, for good reason. Welcome.
Dr. Carson, we're glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So what was your reaction when they did this? Are you angry, or you got to be a little angry?
No, I really am not angry, but I do feel for the students. They're supposed to be getting an education. They're supposed to be inspired. And instead, we're taking politics and placing that in front of the purposes of the educational institutions. So what's going to happen? Same thing that's been happening already. High dropout rates, people graduating from high school who are functionally illiterate, who have a difficult time filling out an application or doing anything that will land them a good job. So unfortunately, they frequently end up doing things that get themselves into a lot of trouble. And, you know, somehow we've allowed the purveyors of hatred and division to grab important positions in our society and to make we, the American people, think that we're each other's enemies simply because we may have a different thought about something. That's totalitarianism, when everybody has to think the same and everybody has to say the same thing.
Yeah, Dr. Carson, what do you think the school board wants their students to, or who do you think they want their students to emulate? If it's not you, someone who worked his way up to be extremely successful in this country. Isn't that really the American dream? And if you work hard, you can achieve. Isn't that the goal for kids?
Well, that should be the goal. But of course, everything has become so highly politicized that common sense and logic are thrown right out of the window and subjected to political constraints. And again, I say, I feel sorry for the children. You know, the children actually know more than the adults. They said, this is foolishness. We don't need to change the name of the school. It's the adults, the woke adults. And hopefully there are going to be more and more young people who actually start thinking for themselves, start thinking about the ramifications of things that are done, start thinking about the importance of a good education and excellence, because it doesn't matter what socioeconomic background you emanated from. If you get a good education in this country, you write your own ticket.
Most people don't know this. Any baptized Catholic can be pope, male. Anyone by the House of Representatives can be appointed to the speakership, doesn't have to be a member. And all of a sudden I'm hearing Ben Carson. Any truth to that rumor whatsoever? Would you accept it if you actually were nominated and McCarthy didn't become speaker for some reason?
Well, it is true that anybody can become a Speaker of the House. You don't have to be a member. That's a good thing for people to know. But it's so important that the concerns of the people be addressed by Congress right now, and not just political, you know, ideology. And I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope those 5 members or 10 members, whatever it is, recognize that this is not the time. You want your party to hit the ground running. There are so many things that need to be done. You can put your concerns out there later. I think they have some legitimate concerns, but timing is everything. And you got to look at the big picture.
I didn't hear a yes or no there, Ben Carson. All right.
I can definitively say no.
Okay, there we go. We got it. All right, Dr. Ben Carson, wonderful to see you as always. Thanks so much and have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you, you too.